In this video, we're going to go over a series of frequently asked questions we get asked about for gutter cleaning. So, first question we get asked is if we do things from a ladder or from the roof. So, by default, we're going to wear safety equipment, a lanyard, harness, etc. We follow safety practices. All our employees are trained. We're going to do things from roofs as long as it's safe enough for us to operate from the roof. It's walkable. It's not dry, so it's not wet or slippery from frost. The next question is how do we clean gutters? So we clean gutters just scooping the debris out, dumping it into a bucket, transfer the bucket into the yard waste can. We also have options to test downspouts using a water, make sure it flows properly, test to make sure it's going out of the downspout and out of the drains if you have like French drains, for example. So that's how we're going to clean them, and we can put filters on the top as well over the downspouts to make sure that debris is being blocked from entering the downspout and clogging the elbows, which is a common issue we see, which is usually what leads to gutters overflowing, is those elbows that get clogged. How frequently should you clean your gutters? Most homes can get away with doing this once a year. It depends on really your exposure to things like trees. That's going to be the primary driver of the accumulation of debris in your gutters. Is going to be trees, occasionally moss. So all north sides of a roof are going to grow moss. There's no stopping it. You can clean it, but it's going to grow back. It's just a matter of factor in the microclimate, the amount of moisture, etc., shade. So sometimes it's moss, but because leaves drop every year, you're usually going to want to do it once a year, towards November through maybe March or so, depending on the time of year that your leaves drop. If you live in an area with lots of trees, maybe you have 2 trees, or your neighbor has a giant tree, you have a tree too, or you have giant pines. Oftentimes, homeowners benefit from doing it multiple times per year. In that case, sometimes we recommend doing it twice towards the beginning of the rainy season, so like November or December, once the leaves have a chance to fall, or the large majority of them, some of them. So we can clean it off, make sure it's good to go, it's going to flow for the next couple months, and then clean it again at the end of the year to make sure that no issues accumulated over the course of the season, no debris, leaves, chunks of moss, etc., are clogged in the downspouts, so that the next time it rains, it's good to go all year round. And the next question is how long does gutter cleaning take? So most appointments are going to be completed in 2 hours. Depends a little bit. Some are a little bit less, an hour and a half. Some are a little bit more, 2.5 hours. If you have a 2-story house, it might take 3-4 hours. If you have a really large house, it also might take that time period, about half a day. And the last question is, how do I know the gutters are actually cleaned? Very valid. So at the end of every gutter cleaning appointment, we're going to take pictures of the gutters. So the technician is going to review how the gutters looked, how they operated, where the debris was, etc. We're going to dump the debris in the yard waste so you can check it yourself. So that's proof point 1. And the second proof point is we're going to show you pictures and we're going to review how the job went, so that you can ensure that your gutters were actually cleaned.